Hello and welcome to today's edition of The Wealthy Lightworker. I have Jennifer Russell here. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so honored to have you. Jennifer is amazing. She studied under Michael Bernard Beckwith. She has mentored thousands of clients dealing with financial lack, and she's the creator of Angels of Ascension Academy. And she also is an award-winning songwriter, an incredibly talented award-winning songwriter. So thank you so much for sharing yourself with us this day. And before we jump in, as always, let's start with a nice deep breath. We did start with a prayer beforehand, and this will just kind of seal that in for us together. So. All right. So as I love to start every interview, I want to know at what moment you knew that you were a light worker and how you found yourself on this path.
Wow, that's a big question. As soon as I heard the word light worker, I knew I was a light worker. But I must say that it was quite a journey to get there. I went through I was born in East Africa. I was a missionary kid. So my parents were very, very zealous evangelical Christians. And so I was raised in that environment, which I'm more grateful for every day. But then I took a detour and went through, I call it my freedom journey. But it was really like, I went as far away as I could from the traditions that I was raised in, basically. Mm-hmm. And then there was a moment, it was after my second divorce, actually. I was like, oh, what's going on with me? It was finally that place that I just said, it must be me. And I really wanted to find a place, after not being able to even walk into a church for 20 years, I really wanted to find a way back to God. And so I did it in a very my way. I just had to do it to what felt right to me. So that's when it began, actually. And that was how long ago? Oh, that was at least 25 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. And then when I heard Lightworker, I was like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to write music for Lightworker. That's what I was doing then. And I just was really clear as soon as I heard the word. I'm supposed to be writing music for Lightworkers. Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how this one word has triggered so many of our journeys? I think that is just, it's incredible to me. And I feel really honored to be able to be a conduit for its expression in the world. So when you kind of realize you're meant to write music, how did that segue into dealing with helping people deal with financial issues?
Well, to tell you the truth, I just was so hungry for spiritual knowing that my music kind of just, it still is. It continues to be like a record of my growth, of my spiritual growth. So if I'm learning something and I really want to know it, I'll write a song. I'm writing songs all the time still. So it's almost like a spiritual practice for me. And coming through being a single parent, being a musician, and then, I started doing my spiritual mentorship. And this thing, I remember when I first started like 16 years ago, I was like, bring me anybody. I'm ready to help everybody, except people that are having financial problems. Because I was right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And, it's fascinating to me how when you're just willing to do the work that you're led to and guided to do, you basically have to do it for yourself. All of the work that I do, helping anybody else, I'm doing it for myself. And so this has been a long journey of taking every prosperity class there is, reading every book, going through all the processes.
Yes.
And then really coming to that place of like, wow, I guess I'm graduated now. I've graduated from this place, and now I'm going to this place. And of course, when I went to this place, I also started working with the angels, the ascended masters, and the mighty Elohim, and then everything just started taking off. So it's, to me, abundance and ascension are the same thing. They're almost, they could be almost the same word. Or we could say ascension can come through a lot of different avenues. Sometimes it comes through somebody's help, you know. They have to heal themselves, and then they realize they are the healer. To me, I really had to heal my abundance, my prosperity consciousness. And then I was able to just open up to this place like, wow, there's more that wants to come through me. And Mother Mary is my sponsor. She continues to just like, come on. We've got to help light workers get out of this pain.
Oh, yes.
Because this is our last, I don't want to say obstacle, but it's the last thing that we have to transcend.
I love that. So can you unpack why you believe that a little bit more? Because I completely agree with you.
Because we separated it from our spiritual world. We separated it. We said, you know, I'm spiritual and here's my financial world. I'm, you know, I can spend a whole lot of time in the stillness, and I can even, you know, read somebody's entire aura. I can heal them on the spot. But let's not talk about money. But money is asking to be purified. Okay, money, if you think about money, money has such a bad rap. Everything gets blamed on money. Everything, you know, if you think about money too as part of the elemental kingdom, it's like air, it's like water, it's made out of paper, it's made out of metal, it's made out of the form, which we would call the mind of God, right? The elemental kingdom is a form, the mental part of God. And that elemental's in the money itself. Even if it's in digital form, we need to make friends with it. We need to start, how are we going to bring it into the new earth? How are we going to establish in the new earth the way we want to do it? So we got to take care of this. This place is like, it's so ripe and ready, and we're ready. We are ready, and I see us. I have to tell you, this is my vision. I see it all the time. I see us walking as light workers across that rainbow bridge, out of this paradigm into the new paradigm of how we're going to do currency. How are we going to do it? And dreaming of it is so important. How we're going to do, you know, when we need to borrow, that the whole thing about debt too. I know we talked a little bit about, maybe we'll get into that today, but like, how do we do that in love? How do we do that in life? How do we do that? Just never borrow anything and never go into debt? I don't think it's that at all. I think it's really about coming into harmony with your money and coming into alignment with, where does your money come from, really? It's nothing outside of you. Never. And, you know, we keep thinking it is, or that the universe is withholding something from us. You know, that, or I'm doing something wrong.
Yes.
Oh God, I hate that one. That was one of my mantras. I must be doing something wrong.
Yes.
Because I'm doing all the things everybody says to do. I'm doing all the steps, and it's not happening. And, you know, and boy, I've been there. I know exactly what that feels like. Yeah, because we can't fix it from this place. We can't, you know, I think Einstein said that, you know, you can't take care of the problem at the source of the problem. And that's true about our money issues. You know, nothing in this 3D world that we've learned is really going to be working anymore. It's a new day.
It's a new day. And
hallelujah.
Such an exciting time to be alive. It's such an exciting time to be called to be a light worker. And I love that you have taken this, and really what in your experience, working with the angels has been the key to shifting things for you, as you said. So tell me more about that, because that actually is the title of our interview today, is Taking Back Your Money Power with the Angels. So fill me in on how a normal person like myself and those watching could harness that energy in a way that is co-creating with the angels.
It's a great question. It's a great question. And I hope I can answer it to the ability that it's been asked, you know. But I will tell you what I do, because it's very simple. It's these areas of resistance Like here comes, let's just take something really practical. Here comes a bill. This bill is, the first thing you do when you open it, you go into a real negative, like, how am I going to pay this?
Yeah.
Why did I spend this money? So, there's self-hatred. There is resentment. There is, you can think of zillion, maybe at least 10 negative things that you're feeling in that moment. In that moment, you have an opportunity to lift up into the frequency of abundance. And that's where the angels come from, because they live there. And even if you don't know the names of any angels, it doesn't matter. You can just say, angels, help me to lift up and see this through eyes of abundance. Everybody knows who Mother Mary is, so I'm just going to use her as an example. Mother Mary asked us to lift up into her heart, because her heart is the Immaculate Heart, which is perfection. We could just look at it as another way of saying the purity of perfection. And abundance flows from her pure heart. Now, I've been thinking about this for years, about what does this really mean? But to me, it's like lifting up into the purity of abundance. Abundance has never been tainted. It's never been taken away from it. It's always ours. And if you can get yourself up into that place, and the angels will help you, because that's what they do. They uplift us. They take us beyond what we know. They take us into other dimensions, because they are pure God energy. They are pure consciousness, and they all have jobs. There's certain angels of peace, there's angels of abundance, there's angels of light. So when you say, I need some peace, angels of peace come right in. I need some abundance here. How can I look at this bill in abundance? And of course, you'll find immediately you go to gratitude.
Yes.
And gratitude is one of those things that immediately lifts you up, like, oh, I'm so grateful that I was able to purchase this. And I go back to the results. Oh my God, look what happened with this, and anything that you can do to lift up.
Yeah.
And that's where the angels can really help you. And then guidance. How can I pay this? And, so asking for wisdom. How can I do this? How can I do this? And stay in integrity. And I'll go back a little bit into my story. I used to just try to get money. I just need money. Somebody give me money. That's all I need is money. And that's the wrong question. It's not like, where's the money coming from? It's really, how can I get into the frequency of abundance?
Yes. Talk more about that difference.
Well, I used to be addicted to lack, and I didn't know I was until I actually stepped into Debtors Anonymous, because I had gone through bankruptcy, and then I saw all these things starting happening again. I go, oh, I gotta check. What is this app? What is this? I need to check this out. And a friend of mine invited me to a meeting, and I was like, oh my God.
Wow. I didn't know that there was a Debtors Anonymous, but it makes sense. It is an addiction. So yeah, keep going with that. That's fascinating.
Well, I realized, and I was addicted to lack, and I was addicted to worry.
Sure.
And, lack I just was like, I have to get a fix. We were going through a really hard time with our house. The mortgage, was one of those, we got caught in the Big Short thing. And it's like, well, let's just ask so-and-so for the mortgage this month. Let's just ask so-and-so. We were just asking everybody and anybody. And it was so, well, it's the same thing that if you're addicted to drugs, you don't really, you lose the relationships. You just start thinking money rather than relationship. You're thinking, where am I going to get the money? And then, okay, here's the money. Thank God. Okay. Everything's all right now for 5 minutes, and then it's like, what about next month? And I realized not only was I addicted to lack, but every month when the mortgage was due or the rent was due, whatever it was, I would go into this total panic. It was panic time.
Yeah.
And when I realized that I had been doing this over 30 years, every month going into panic and worry.
Yeah.
I then, again, coming back into that frequency of abundance. Oh, this is not really totally my responsibility. My responsibility is to do my best
Mm-hmm.
and then hand it over to my higher power, my beloved I am present. Because I'm doing everything I can. I can't do anything else. And so here's my portion, here's what I can pay, and I'm ready for everything else to come. And I've got to tell you, that was 8 years ago.
Hmm.
And I have never had any difficulty paying my rent since then. And it's been amazing. I can't tell you how it happens, but it happens.
Yeah. I'm curious, what do you think when you say being addicted to lack? Obviously, that means that it's serving you in some way. Do you feel that it was like the drama, the intensity of the feeling, even if it was panic, it was an intense enough feeling to kind of give your life some oomph, I guess? And do you think that that shift kind of coincided with, or when things changed, kind of coincided with you finding that within yourself? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I must say that I didn't realize there was another way. Of course, in my conscious mind, I didn't realize there was another way. It was just a habit that had been going on for so long.
Right, almost like programming.
Yeah, exactly. I guess we're addicted to a lot of things, and to me, the addiction is just a distraction. Like you said, it's a distraction of where can I put my attention so I don't have to put it here.
Yes.
And I don't have to look within and really focus on plugging into my divinity and my higher power, because that's where the supply comes from. That's the only place. And that's a really subtle thing.
Yes.
But when you're really ready to just like sink into that, oh my God, it's right here. Oh, but you got to go get a job that you hate. No, it's right here.
It's right here.
It's right here. So I don't know if I answered your question.
Oh, you did. No, you absolutely did. So with that, so you were in debt so deeply. Now, how did you find your way out? I mean, obviously you started to just trust more. You started to be grateful. You started to ask for guidance and ask for wisdom and how to act. What was specifically around debt? Because I think the reason I keep going back to this is I think that it's one of those things that in our culture and in our society, it's viewed as unequivocally, that's how you say the word, unequivocally negative, right?
Yeah, right.
And that's not always the case, I would argue, and I'm sure you would as well.
Well, to me, the most important thing about debt is to release it of the shame and guilt around it. There's so much shame and guilt around it. And when I started to look at it as just one debt at a time, instead of this huge, oh my God, this huge black cloud, maybe we just say that I couldn't do anything about. When I realized that it was doable, if I looked at one at a time, if I started talking to that person that I owed this money to, if I made amends with this person that I, that told me, cut me off because we were friends and here I was trying to borrow money from. So I took responsibility for each step. I think that's the very beginning part. And then I command ye to me, Lady Hope. I mean, I just started to command the angel's presence to really help me deal with this. And I'm amazed at what happens when you look at debt, when you actually start talking to even credit card companies, when you start talking to them and saying, you know what, I really want to make this right with you. What can we do? This is my income now. They are so willing to work with you. It's just when you hold them at an arm's distance and say they're bad. Yeah, really.
Yes.
Just saying, you know what, I'm taking responsibility for this, and this is all I can give you is, $100 a month. Can you receive that? Yeah. And is there any way that I can make this a lower? I mean, asking for what you need is a big deal, and that actually is a very magical tip about with the angels. Yes. To ask and ask and ask. Ask. Because as light workers, many of us are really great at giving and giving and giving and over giving and not really in balance with the giving and the receiving. But the angelic realm is just waiting for us to ask. Yes. I need some help here. I need to know How do I deal with this angry creditor? How do I deal with the IRS? Oh,
yeah.
I don't even kind of agree with what they're doing, but how can I bring harmony into this situation? Help me to see something that I can hang on to here.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think I love the point of just taking ownership and releasing the guilt and shame around it. And it doesn't have to be this heavy, dark cloud. It can just be one thing at a time. And I think for a lot of us who might be like facing this struggle themselves, you know, looking at it and only doing it when not necessarily only when it feels good, but taking it one step at a time and giving yourself permission to like walk away when it starts to get heavy, right? I think that that's a really important piece of it all too.
I do too. And I think to start with, it's great to just take a moment, you know. Let's take a moment now, because I think this would be really helpful.
Yes.
Just take a nice big breath and just go within for a second and feel into the energy of your debt. Just feel what it, you know, it could be really creepy in there. It could be, you know, really heavy and dark and shameful. And maybe there's a lot of anger in there. Whatever it is, don't judge it. Just notice what it is. And I am going to just invoke the presence of Lady Hope, who is the Archeai, which is the feminine aspect of the fourth ray. She's the Archeai of Archangel Gabriel. Pure white light. And Archangel Hope, Archeai Hope, I'm just asking you, Lady Hope, to lift us up here into the resurrection flame and to lift up this old idea of death and give us a new thought, a new vibration that we can bring into our debt right now. We're asking for you to charge to any walls of unbelief, to any shell of non-acceptance, any old stagnated energy and shame and guilt. We're asking you to just lift it up into a new place of light. So that every time that we think of death from now on, we'll come to this lighter place. Thank you, beloved. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Yeah, there we go.
I was receiving a beautiful visual and seeing like a golden thread kind of weaving through all of it, and like when you said charging it up, that was like shimmering and it was beautiful. So thank you so much for that.
You're so welcome. No, it is. I see gold too. Whenever I ask to see abundance, I see gold.
Oh, and it's kind of like our gold cards here. Yes. I bought myself gold sandals today. Just bringing it in, right? In any way we can to remind ourselves of our divine abundance that is our birthright, right?
I am golden.
Oh,
all the gold. Yeah.
Jennifer, you are such a light. So we're not done yet, though. I want to learn a little bit more from you about, you know, I really love, we were talking about this before we hopped on, but working with angels, I think, is something that some of us might be really interested in and intrigued by. So I guess my question for you would be, if I wanted to really start to work with this, I know you said just invoking them, you know, but is there anything else that you would recommend that a book you recommend, or things that you would recommend that we would study or look at to kind of bring more of this awareness into our day-to-day life?
Well, you know, the most simple thing you could do is to get a card, an angel deck card, and to start learning about angels that way. But I will say that I have really taken it on as a deep study in my life, and I'm teaching people how to actually live with the heavenly realms and to interact with them, because we used to walk with the angels daily. They were our guides. We used to take walks with them and get advice and, you know, everything. Because our job, I'm going to just explain this real quick. Our job is to catch the divine idea. The angel's job is to radiate the qualities that we need in order to carry out that job. The elemental kingdom, the builders of form, their job is to take our command, our invocations, and make them happen. So this is what I teach in the Angels of Abundance Ascension Academy. We get really in the trenches with the angels, and you know, I just want to tell everybody that's available to you. And what else can you do? I mean, there's a lot of books out, but I would say start learning the angels by their names.
Yeah.
Like when you call Mother Mary's the Queen of Angels. When you call on Mother Mary, it's like you're calling her on a phone. That's the code that opens up the door. You call on Archangel Michael, you're calling on, the power of Father God, the courage, the protection, the provision. You know, Archangel Michael loves us so much and has brought so much to us, and will never leave this planet until we've all ascended and come back home. He's such a, and you know, I tell people, ask Archangel Michael to come and live with you, you know, and they're so accessible. They're so accessible, but the free will part, which we always have to talk about, we're on a free will planet. And so we have a will. We have to say, I'm asking. I'm absolutely invoking your presence. Because if you don't, even your guardian angel will just sit there and wait and wait and wait for lifetimes. So this is probably the most underutilized area of our spiritual world. And I'm changing that one person at a time as much as I can, you know, because, wow, we have so much help. We have so much help. Nobody will do our work for us. But it's kind of like you have a whole cheerleading team with you saying, oh, go there, go here, go there. You know, you have to go, but you have so much help. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. So let's talk about your offer that you're providing to our audience. You're offering something called, it's a Divine Abundance Clarity Session, and that is with Mother Mary and the Angels of Abundance. So do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, I would love to. This session is simply a time for you to talk about what is your vision of abundance. You know, what are the things that are getting in the way? You know, and how can you open up more to the angels of abundance? So it's some one-on-one time with me or one of my practitioners, and it is just delicious. It's really for you to just get some angel money attention time.
I love that.
Best say, and really steep in prayer and see what's next for you. You know, what is your heart really calling for? Yeah, and the other thing that I'm giving in this beautiful offer is some of my original songs that have to do with our financial healing. I call it my abundance mix, and starting with the Ho'oponopono prayer chant, which is you know, just getting in that place of giving everything and releasing everything. Has so much to do with our abundance. Let's see what else is on here. The grateful heart, you know, staying in that place of the grateful heart is so important. I am the queen. I am the queen of my world. This is really for us women and men too. You know, I am the master of my world. This is really about stepping into your divine authority, this song. You know, and I command, draw to me the abundance that I'm requiring right now. You know, it's not like you're putting a demand on somebody like you're a angry person at the store. I demand my rights. It's kind of you're demanding every part of yourself get in alignment with your abundance. So let's see what else is on here. Go Beyond. It was my bankruptcy song. Go Beyond. I am the currency of heaven. And I'm worthy of my own love. It's very important. And lift my cup. That's just about, you know, it's specifically about money, about just opening up. Yep. Opening up more and more to the abundance you have. Yeah, this is a great collection of songs. You're going to love them.
Oh, I am so excited because I've listened to a little bit of your music and it is transformative. It's incredible. So I'm so excited that you're sharing this, and it's normally valued at over $350, and you're offering it for $97 to our audience. So thank you for that. And, I know that many of you watching are going to take advantage of this and continue to learn from Jennifer and her incredible wealth of wisdom, pun not so intended, but in retrospect, yes, it was intended. And, I'm just so grateful that our paths have crossed, and for your incredible energy and light. And I know, and thank you, before we started, you blessed this process and my business. And I want to thank you for that and extend that blessing out to all of you watching who have your own businesses and your own dreams that that you're meant to fulfill. And reach out to Jennifer and work with her to explore that and to move past your, money blocks and step into your money power.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes, thank you. I'm so honored to be here, and I just bless this whole Wealthy Lightworker Abundance series. And I love, Colleen, that you put together those two words, Wealthy Lightworker. That's exactly where we're going. Thank you.
Thank you.